Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Miss Dina English. I'm Dina, and I'm very happy that you are here with us today.
And I'm Tom. Whether you are listening at home, on a bus, at work, or while taking a walk, thank you for spending this time with us.
We always love imagining people from different countries listening and learning English with us.
Yes, and today we have a topic that is very important because it affects almost everyone at some point in life.
We are going to talk about comfort zones and how they can slowly stop us from reaching our dreams.
This episode is designed for B1 to B2 English learners, so we will speak clearly, naturally, and at a comfortable speed.
As always, you do not need to understand every single word perfectly.
Just relax, follow the conversation, and let your English grow naturally while you listen.
Before we begin, we want to give you a simple question to think about.
Here it is. What is one thing you want in your life but keep postponing?
Maybe it is learning a new skill.
Maybe it is changing your job.
Maybe it is starting a business.
Or maybe it is finally speaking English with confidence.
Whatever it is, keep it in your mind while you listen to this conversation.
Because today we're going to explore one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck for years.
And that reason is often the comfort zone.
Dina, let's start with something simple. What exactly is a comfort zone?
A comfort zone is a situation where things feel safe, familiar, and predictable.
In other words, it is a place where we know what to expect.
Yes, there's usually very little risk there.
And because there is little risk, there is also less fear.
The comfort zone is not always a bad thing.
That is true. Many people hear the phrase comfort zone and immediately think it is negative.
But comfort itself is not the problem.
Right. Everyone needs stability and security in life.
The problem begins when comfort becomes a prison.
That is a powerful way to describe it.
Imagine a bird living in a beautiful cage.
The bird has food, water, and protection.
Everything feels safe.
But the bird never learns how far it can fly.
And many people live like that without realizing it.
They stay in situations that feel comfortable, even when those situations make them unhappy.
Let me give an example.
Go ahead.
Imagine someone who has wanted to improve their English for 5 years.
That sounds familiar already.
Every year they tell themselves, I will start speaking English soon.
But when the opportunity comes, they stay silent.
They are afraid of making mistakes.
They are afraid of sounding strange.
They are afraid that other people might judge them.
So they stay inside their comfort zone.
And because they stay there, nothing changes.
The strange thing is that the comfort zone often feels comfortable only in the short term.
That is an important point.
In the moment, avoiding a challenge feels good.
It feels easier.
It feels safer.
But months later, or years later, that same decision can create regret.
Regret is one of the most difficult feelings because it makes us think about what could have happened.
Exactly. We imagine the opportunities we never took.
Dina, have you ever stayed in your comfort zone for too long?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Really? Tell us about it.
Years ago, I wanted to create English content online.
But you were nervous.
Very nervous. I worried about my voice, my ideas, and what people would think.
That sounds like something many listeners can relate to.
Every day, I would think about starting.
But thinking and doing are very different things.
Exactly. I spent much more time planning than acting.
That happens to many people.
I told myself I needed better equipment.
Then what happened?
Then I told myself I needed more knowledge.
Let me guess. After that, you found another reason to wait.
Yes, there was always another excuse.
Excuses can feel very logical when we create them ourselves.
That is true. They often sound reasonable.
But sometimes they are simply fear wearing a different costume.
I like that description.
Fear rarely says, "Hello, I am fear."
Instead, it says things like, wait a little longer,
Or, "You are not ready yet."
or maybe next month.
And before you know it, years have passed.
Eventually, I realized something important.
What was it?
I realized that confidence does not usually come before action.
That is a lesson many people need to hear.
Most of the time, confidence comes after action.
You do the thing first,
Then you learn,
then you improve.
and slowly you become more confident.
So confidence is often the result, not the starting point.
Exactly.
And I think that idea connects perfectly to our topic today.
Because the comfort zone tells us to wait until we feel completely ready.
But growth usually begins when we accept that we may never feel completely ready.
That realization changed the way I looked at challenges.
And it raises an interesting question.
What question?
If comfort feels good, why does it so often stop people from reaching their dreams?
That is exactly what we are going to explore next.
So, Tom, we ended the last part with an important question.
Yes. If comfort feels good, why does it so often prevent people from reaching their dreams?
I think one reason is that our brains naturally prefer certainty.
That makes sense. Human beings like knowing what will happen next.
Exactly. When something is familiar, it feels safe.
And when something is unfamiliar, it often feels dangerous, even when it is not.
That is why people sometimes avoid opportunities that could improve their lives.
They are not necessarily avoiding the opportunity itself.
They are avoiding the uncertainty that comes with it.
Let's imagine someone receives a job offer in a new city.
The new job pays more money.
It offers better opportunities.
It might even bring them closer to their long-term goals.
But accepting it means leaving behind familiar routines,
Familiar streets,
familiar coworkers.
familiar habits.
Suddenly, the comfortable choice is to stay where they are.
Even if they are not completely happy there.
And that is something many people experience.
Sometimes people choose certainty over possibility.
And years later, they wonder what might have happened if they had been brave enough to try.
Another interesting thing about comfort zones is that they often grow over time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, imagine you avoid one difficult situation.
Okay,
At first, it seems like a small decision,
just one moment,
just one challenge.
just one opportunity,
But then you avoid another.
and another.
Eventually, avoidance becomes a habit.
That is powerful because habits shape our lives.
Yes, we often think our lives are built by big decisions
But many times they are built by small, repeated actions.
or small, repeated inactions.
That is an interesting way to say it.
Think about learning English.
A topic close to our listeners.
Imagine someone wants to become fluent.
They know English could help their career.
It could help them travel.
It could help them meet people from different countries
But every time they have a chance to practice speaking, they stay silent.
because they are worried about mistakes.
Exactly.
The first time feels uncomfortable,
The second time feels uncomfortable too.
so they avoid it again.
Months pass,
Then years pass,
and their dream stays exactly where it started,
not because they lacked ability.
but because they stayed inside a comfortable routine.
I think that is an important distinction.
What do you mean?
Many people believe they are failing because they are not talented enough.
When often the real issue is that they are not taking enough action.
Exactly.
Talent can help,
Of course.
but action matters much more over time.
Consistent action can create amazing results.
Even when someone starts with average skills.
Dina, have you noticed that people often admire successful individuals without seeing the uncomfortable moments behind their success?
Absolutely,
They see the final result.
but not the difficult process.
They see a confident speaker.
But they do not see the hundreds of nervous presentations that came before.
They see a successful business owner.
But they do not see the risks, mistakes, and failures along the way.
They see someone living their dream.
But they do not see the years spent outside their comfort zone.
Growth is rarely comfortable.
That does not mean it has to be painful all the time,
No, not at all.
but growth usually asks something from us.
It asks for courage.
It asks for patience.
It asks for effort.
And sometimes it asks us to look foolish for a while.
That last one can be surprisingly difficult.
Very true. Most people do not enjoy making mistakes in front of others.
Yet mistakes are often proof that we are learning.
Think about children learning to walk.
They fall many times.
Nobody expects perfection from them.
Falling is simply part of the process.
But when adults learn something new, they often expect immediate success.
And when success does not arrive quickly, they become discouraged.
Sometimes they return to the comfort zone because it feels easier.
The comfort zone offers immediate relief.
But growth offers long-term rewards.
That difference is important.
One feels good now.
The other creates a better future.
Of course, this does not mean we should constantly push ourselves every minute of every day.
That would be exhausting.
Everyone needs rest.
Everyone needs balance.
The goal is not to eliminate comfort completely.
The goal is to stop letting comfort control your decisions.
Exactly.
Because when comfort becomes the most important thing in life, dreams often become less important.
And little by little, people begin lowering their expectations.
They stop aiming high.
They stop trying new things.
They stop believing they can grow.
But the good news is that comfort zones are not permanent.
They can be expanded.
And surprisingly, the process often starts with very small actions.
Small actions that may seem almost insignificant at first.
Yet those small actions can completely change the direction of a person's life.
So in the next part, let's talk about how people can break free from their comfort zone without feeling overwhelmed.
And we will share some practical strategies that listeners can begin using immediately in their own lives.
So, Tom, in the last part, we talked about why comfort zones become dangerous when they start controlling our decisions.
And now it is time for the most practical question.
How do we actually step outside our comfort zone?
Because understanding the problem is important, but action is what creates change.
Exactly. And I think the first thing people need to understand is that they do not have to make huge changes overnight.
That is good news, because huge changes can feel intimidating.
Very intimidating. Sometimes people imagine that leaving their comfort zone means changing their entire life immediately.
Quitting their job tomorrow.
Moving to another country next week.
Or completely transforming themselves in a month.
But real growth usually happens in much smaller steps.
Small enough that you can repeat them consistently.
Let's go back to the English learning example.
A favorite example for our listeners.
Imagine someone is afraid of speaking English.
They feel nervous every time they have a conversation.
Instead of trying to give a 30-minute speech, they could start with one sentence.
Just one sentence.
One simple question.
One short conversation.
The goal is not perfection.
The goal is exposure.
Exposure means gradually becoming familiar with something that once felt uncomfortable.
The more often you do it, the less frightening it becomes.
Another useful strategy is to focus on progress instead of results.
That is something many people struggle with.
They want immediate success,
Immediate confidence.
immediate improvement.
But growth rarely works that way.
Think about going to the gym.
Nobody exercises once and suddenly becomes strong.
Exactly. Strength develops over time.
The same is true for confidence.
Confidence grows through repeated experience.
Not through waiting.
I think another important strategy is changing the way we view failure.
That is a big one.
Many people see failure as proof that they should stop.
But successful people often see failure differently.
They see it as information.
Information about what works and what does not,
Every mistake teaches something useful.
if we are willing to learn from it.
Let me ask you something, Tom.
Sure,
Have you ever done something that scared you at first but later became normal?
absolutely.
Tell us about it.
Public speaking.
Really?
Yes, years ago, speaking in front of a group made me extremely nervous.
What happened?
My hands would shake.
That sounds stressful.
It was. I worried about making mistakes and forgetting my words.
So how did you improve?
Not by waiting until I felt ready.
Interesting.
I improved by doing it again and again,
Even when it felt uncomfortable?
especially when it felt uncomfortable.
That is such an important lesson.
The things that help us grow often feel uncomfortable at the beginning.
But after enough practice, they become part of who we are.
Exactly.
Another thing that helps is celebrating small wins.
People often forget to do that.
They only celebrate huge achievements.
But every small step matters.
If you are afraid to speak English and today you spoke for 1 minute, that is progress.
If you started a project you have been postponing for months, that is progress.
If you tried something new despite your fear, that is progress.
Success is usually built from many small victories.
Not one giant moment.
Before we finish, let's review some useful vocabulary from today's episode.
The first phrase is comfort zone.
A comfort zone is a situation where you feel safe, familiar, and secure.
Another useful word is uncertainty.
Uncertainty means not knowing exactly what will happen.
We also used the word regret.
Regret is the feeling of wishing you had done something differently.
Another important word is courage.
Courage means taking action even when you feel afraid.
We also talked about exposure.
Exposure means gradually becoming familiar with something through repeated experience.
And finally, we discussed growth.
Growth means developing, improving, and becoming better over time.
As we come to the end of this episode, we want you to think about one thing.
What is one area of your life where comfort may be holding you back?
Maybe it is your English.
Maybe it is your career.
Maybe it is a dream you have been postponing for years.
Whatever it is, try not to focus on a huge change.
Focus on one small step,
One action,
one conversation,
one decision.
because dreams rarely disappear in a single day.
They disappear when we keep choosing comfort instead of growth.
But the opposite is also true.
Dreams become real when we take small, brave steps again and again.
Remember, you do not need to be fearless.
You only need to be willing to move forward despite the fear.
Thank you for spending this time with us today.
We hope this conversation helped you practice your English and think a little differently about your goals.
If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it with a friend who is learning English.
And if you want, write a comment telling us one comfort zone you want to leave behind.
We love reading your messages and hearing your stories from around the world.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in your dreams.
Take care. Keep practicing your English, and we will see you in the next episode of Miss Dina English.